So today I think I'm going to be building a pop-top roof for the top. So here in England for this model, I'd be looking at about £2,000 to get one fitted. The problem with that is there's a big wait list at the minute and it'll take about 5 months before I could actually go get it done. And I'd need to drive to the middle of nowhere and wait there for 2 days while it gets done. Then I found ones closer that were more like £3,000 and I just figure, well, it's a lid. So I'm going to put a new lid that raises up and I'm going to film making it today. So what I'm going to do it out of aluminium. I'm just going to build a frame, put sheeting on top, a hinge on one side and then gas struts to lift it up, and then some fabric around the inside. So yeah, let's get started. So I've got two different types of beams. I've got this thicker, taller one. This is, I have no idea, I can't remember. I measured it online. So one of the issues is the roof has a small curve over it. So I either thought I'd have to bend my roof or make one flat, but the sides go down further than the middle bars. So that's why this one's a bit taller. It's nice because they're aluminium, they're a bit flexible. I've never used aluminium before, so it's quite a learning curve to me. So the fact this one's a bit stronger and wider makes it a lot less flexible, and hopefully that'll stop the roof shaking. For the interbeams, I've got these, I think these are 1/2 inch, 1.27 millimeters, no, 12.7 millimeters square, 2 millimeters thick, and they do seem quite flexible. I don't know if you can see that on camera. But hopefully when everything's bolted together with the lid, the sheet on top, that should keep everything nice and strong. I also have quite a few of these going across, so that'll stop any large bits of sheet metal being unattached, which will, I imagine at high speed, sort of wobble and cause horrible sounds. Anyway, it's Saturday, the weather's pretty nice today, and yeah, let's get started. So these are the hinges I've got. They claim to be marine quality hinges, so hopefully they're pretty rust proof. They're stainless steel, they're pretty chunky. I don't know how much pressure it's going to be on it. I think the roof, because it's all made out of aluminium, I think it's only going to be about 30 kilograms. So it's not going to need a ridiculous amount of strength. I should be able to get 4 of these hinges along the side of it. So for the connections, or to join them together, I've got these little 90-degree, tiny little, I think they're stainless steel brackets. Yeah, they're stainless steel brackets. I did think about welding, but I don't know how welding works. I looked up certain kinds. It looked easy enough with aluminium. You get a blowtorch and a sort of soldering pen. But I just thought this, I can take it apart, put it back together, see how best it works, and yeah, it's gives me a bit more flexibility, so I'm going to use these little things to create the outer frame. So, one issue, the hole is so close to the side of these tiny bars that the bolt won't actually fit in. So I can't bolt it because of the issue I just showed you, so I'm just going to have to rivet it, and yeah, if it goes wrong I can get the rivets out, but probably won't go wrong, right? So somebody just started chainsawing, so you can't hear a single thing in this clip, but here is the outline of the frame so you can get a general idea. Cool, so you can see it runs along this channel, goes down the rails where the roof rails are going to go, and then sits just behind a little dip where the cabin is, behind the cabin, which I think will act as a nice little wind barrier. Yeah, so it does pop up a little bit at the side, but nothing really that you'd notice. Even though it's square, I don't think it's going to look too bad. Right, searching for my tape measure for 20 minutes and it was on the roof. The process of riveting these crossbars took absolutely ages. You had to drill 8 holes, 4 at each side, and then fit the rivets. But you also had to make sure that the bar was completely level with the top bar. The rivets were super fiddly, the holes were super fiddly. Getting it all to line up properly was really fiddly. It just took absolutely ages. And then, as there were 5 crossbars, 1 bar going down the length of it in the middle as well, there were literally hundreds of rivets to put throughout the whole thing. It took 2 whole days just to make the entire frame. We're going to be cutting the sheet aluminium. It's 1.2 mil thick that I bought. Doesn't really need too much strength as things aren't going to be... It's going to be standing up, or it's not going to be supporting anything. So I've got 2 sheets. I wish I'd got the company that sold it to cut it to size because they do it for free. I didn't think to do that for some reason. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put one on and then cut the other one. So it's going to be, the gap's going to be a bit lopsided, but which means I only have to cut 1 instead of 2, and who cares what the top of the roof is like. These beams still need to go on the frame. These are going to be where the gas struts attach to, and I'm going to wait till I've cut the roof hole out and got the roof on, sort of measure up exactly where I want them to be. So now I'm going to be looking at how I'm going to be attaching to the top. So yeah, the hinges will go along this side, and then I'll need a place for the gasket struts. So this back roof bolt here, I'm going to have a beam going along to the other side, and then I have a beam on the roof and a beam underneath, and I'll attach the gas strut between the two, which means I'll only have this much space to fold up the fabric, but I think that'll be okay. And yes, the gas strut's going to be on the inside, which I think will be fine. what I'm doing here is getting ready to attach the fabric. Got these aluminium strips, quite flexible, they're just quite lightweight. They're going to be attached from here and then bolted in with the fabric between this and the frame. So I'm just going to drill the holes now for the... I'm going to use rivet nuts or rivets, threaded rivets, where you drill a hole, put a rivet in that's got a thread, and then you can bolt in, which saves me having to get a bolt through the middle of the tube. So I'm just going to drill the holes now before I put the top on, because it's going to be a lot easier to do that. I'm going to do all the pilot holes, all of the rivets, get them ready, take it up, silicone it, and then hit all the rivets. It started getting dark and then the battery went, so I missed some of the recording. So I'll show you what I've done. So I finished putting the sheet metal onto the frame. I put a dab of silicone all the way around. Well, I drilled all of the rivet holes first, put the silicone down, layered it on top, and then finished off all the rivets. So here's what we've got now. Try and show you. So there we go. I put rivets along all the way down the frame, all the way around the outside. I've only siliconed the outside and the parts that might leak, but I think to stop any rattling, I'm going to be siliconing every part of the frames, every part of the sheet metal. So the next steps is to find where the hinges are going to go, so I can attach it to the roof. So I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you subscribe so you can see the rest of the build.